Greetings and welcome to another video, and in this one today we're doing another episode of Passion for Games, and joining me as usual is my friend Jeff, Sasamisa1806. Alright mate?
Yeah, I'm alright.
So, 03, set before every other Street Fighter.
Yeah, hence the name Zero. Although it was called Alpha in the West, or the Alpha series, it is actually set canonically before Street Fighter 1.
Yeah, so it's there's a lot of characters that we'd know from the earlier Street Fighter games, and a lot of new ones as well that kind of appear now in the more modern games, I suppose you could call them that.
Yeah, it's true. I think at this point a lot of purist Street Fighter fans have kind of accepted that the whole canon of Street Fighter is just nonsense. It doesn't matter anymore. It's about the game, about the fighting. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean the story it's just all over the place, isn't it? I think it's got more errors in the canon than something like Red Dwarf does a comedy show. It's just
you've got Charlie or Nash dying in the first game, and then in the second game he's mysteriously alive again. And in the third game he's very much alive. It's like, the canon I just don't think matters.
Well, there is a story to some degree. As usual, it's Bison up. Well, I'd say up to his old tricks, but it's up to his really old tricks now.
Yeah, he's at the height of his power in this game, or Shin Bison as they call him, New Bison. Whereas in the previous two Zero games, he was kind of a wuss. He was just kind of a big part in his own series.
Yeah, they call him New Bison, but technically he's Old Bison. So, like you say, the story makes no sense really.
Yeah. But no, essentially this was one of the Street Fighter games that I never played in the arcades. The last one I played, I say played, I saw it down Southend Alpha 2. But this one, MAME. If it hadn't have been for MAME, I never would have known about it, much like Valkyrie no Densetsu. The music, on hearing it on load up, it pulled me in. The music for this game is really good. It's programmed by 4 different programmers. Oyuji from the previous 2 games. I can't remember the other 3 except for Yuki Y, because my favourite. He did a lot of good tunes in this.
I mean, regarding the music, when I was putting this together, I was listening to it through headphones, and it's a good stereo soundtrack, and yeah, the music is totally outstanding. It's certainly, I really do like the graphical style as well, but the music in this is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you've got this nice cartoon style, nice and colourful, and the music, it's like so many different styles for each of the characters. Thumping tune for Zangief, and classical for Karin, and so on. Speaking of which,
there you go.
I'll tell you what it says. Right, Karin Kanzuki, only daughter of the Kanzuki business empire, making her name in the world. You must always be the winner at anything, at everything. This for sure is the Kanzuki clan's strict family motto. To once again fight with Sakura, who she suffered a defeat against in a previous match, she herself too departs on a journey around the world. Right, and that says Frankfurt aircraft hangar against Budget Guile. Oh, come on, nobody likes Charlie. They couldn't put Guile in the game because, it's set before Street Fighter for Street Fighter 1, isn't it? So we had to have Budget Guile instead. Never a fan of Charlie, but he had a really good tune in Alpha, didn't he, or Zero?
Yeah.
Fantastic piece. By Oyuji.
That is, the first Alpha game is the only one that I really knew, because I've got that for the original PlayStation, and it is arcade perfect. But I've never seen any of them in an arcade at all.
I saw Alpha down Southend. I think James played it a bit, but I wasn't really that taken with it, to be honest, not initially. Well, I give him a good thump in here, because the thing about Karin, she's kind of a cross between Fei Long and Ken. She looks up to Ken as a bit of a mentor. And she's the kind of character, there's some text about to come up here, your calculations contain too many uncertainties. And that says before Jampa Monument, which I believe is in India.
Yeah,
but yeah,
great.
Karin, she's a very, well, go all in character. You get one good poke in with her and you can follow it up with about a 15-hit blooming combo. So that's what you do. You either aim in with a jump kick or you try to get that medium poke in, because her medium poke is extremely easy to chain into any of her flurries.
I've got to say, douse him in grey, he does look a bit zombie-ish in this.
Yeah, he's a bit like a stone golem, isn't it? Stone douse him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see that you start getting a flurry going with Karin, and you end it with her Mujin Kaku move. I can't remember what Mujin Kaku means, infinity kick or something. Essentially, it will chuck them into the air and juggle them, and then you can just follow it up with her super.
I was going to say, this game is quite noted for being able to juggle in it.
Yeah, the original arcade version was terrible for it, especially with the Vias. And Karin and Dew were the only characters who could actually infinitely juggle. You could trap the characters in the corner and just keep juggling them until they were dead. They only lose a pixel of health at a time once they've been hit about 20 times, but you can literally juggle them until you've got a 99-hit combo.
Bloody hell. That's a big combo. Go on.
Know your enemy and know yourself. It's common practice in any fight.
I've never seen a battle like this.
Right, Sunrise Park against our favourite comedian. Who doesn't turn up in a pink gi this time. Yeah, Mr. I've got unlimited taunts. Everyone else gets one taunt if you press, I think it's the 1-player or the 2-player button while you're playing. But Dan, he can do it continuously, even if you're playing him, not just a computer.
The thing is, though, even though you can do that, if you don't use the taunt, I mean, Dan is just as playable as all the characters. I mean, he's pretty much all the characters in this game have got their strengths, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't think there's a terrible character in the game. I wouldn't say there are any characters that were like, they're so awful you just don't want to play them. No, Dan's just another typical Shotokan. He's probably not one of the best Shotokans, you know, say compared to Dear Ken or Goki, Akuma. But he's not a complete loss as a character. Plus, you know, if you beat someone with Dan, you can just humiliate him. I think you used to do that, you know, you got beaten by Dan.
Yeah. Thanks for that reminder.
I think it's happened to me. So boring, I was stupid to get my hopes up.
Referring to what she said, not to what I said, hopefully.
Mykonos Island. In Greece. Cami, or Camay as I used to call her. As in the soap.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she is one of Bison's dolls, you know, one that got away, essentially, who's lost her memories. One of Bison's lover, apparently, even though she's technically only 16. Not a problem for us in Europe, of course, but the Americans do get kind of upset at that.
Well, and also as portrayed by Kylie Minogue in the film.
Yeah, don't remind me. I know she gets a good mashing in this first round. So like 15-hit combo. I mean, if you can get that juggle going with Karin, you know, the enemy are defenseless.
I'll tell you one thing I will say about this game. The colours on it are absolutely outstanding. I think that's true for all of the Alpha series or Zero series. I remember, obviously, because I had a CRT at the time, playing this, or the first one, on the original PlayStation. And because obviously CRTs aren't as sharp as, you know, what we're looking at here, it looked like you was playing a cartoon, and it's so smooth and it's so fast. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
Power of CPS2, isn't it? You know, Capcom System 2, bold. You have to remember the original Street Fighter was only a Capcom System 1. You know, when this one came out, it was much more powerful. You can tell by the frame rate, it's considerably higher.
Yeah, it does go along at a fair old lick.
So if you're a pro, you will understand our difference in capability is clear. Right, it's Blanca next. Right, that's the Madeira River tributary or wetlands in Brazil. We get a load of text here as well. So, what the beast? That's just whoa, whoa, whoa. Chuckle, fine then. Beast or not, if that's your wish, I'll take you on with my fists, which are the king of beasts. Yeah, in the American version, Blanca says, "Hey, cute girl, let's fight." Have they got a universal translator or something? You know, Blanca's apparently means "Hey, cute girl." He does that a lot in the original Street Fighter 2, though. A lot of the time, he would just simply roar at you. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Very brightly coloured Blanca. He looks superb in this, doesn't he?
He does, and he's also comical as hell. You know, sometimes he's super moves. Sometimes he would just chuck melons at you. Sometimes the Zangief will like pop down from the top of the screen. No, I think it's Zangief's one where Blanca pops down from the top. But yeah, he throws melons, bananas, and sometimes he'll turn up in the back of a truck and jump out of it, and all melons come out of it. Yeah, he's one of the more amusing characters, certainly. They paired him up with Dan and Sucker in Street Fighter 4. You know, for even more comic relief. One of the more light-hearted moments.
Yeah, through like seeing you play this quite a lot, he's never been one that's really given you a load of grief, has he?
No, I think Karin is. She's a good matchup for Blanca.
You win!
Right, some more text here, I think. Ah, to think there are such creatures. The world is so vast, isn't it? That's just, well, I can't translate that. I felt like I'm being watched by someone ever since the time I was fighting. I wonder if I'm imagining it.
That's great! Super! Excellent!
That's Onikiba Grow against Gurki or Akuma in the West. Both incidentally mean devil or demon. Akuma is a more common Japanese word for devil or demon, but Gurki is the word they decided to go with in the original. He gives me a metric ton of grief normally, but I got lucky here. He's got Vism, which means no Shungokusatsu.
Yeah, that is useful. I mean, I've been on the receiving end of that, and it's like, well, might as well just let go of the controller and wait for the next round to start.
If he gets you with all 3 levels of it, or the Xism version of it, you lose 3/4 of your health. You cannot block it. You either get out the way of it, or you get hit. It's one of the only super moves in the game that cannot be blocked. Along with Zangief's double spinning pile driver, I think. I think all the grapple moves you cannot block. You either get out the way of them or you get hit. But I got lucky here. You know, Vism kind of tones him down a bit.
He's still a pain in the arse, though, isn't he, normally?
He is one of the worst of the Shotokans, definitely.
He's awfully good at blocking stuff as well.
Yeah, and plus all these moves do chain very well into each other. I mean, he's got multiple Hadokens, he's got, you know, the ability to do multiple dragon punches. You can Hurricane kick pretty much into anything, or Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku. But yeah, kind of got lucky here.
Yeah, you made that look very easy.
I normally don't.
No,
I
know.
I got lucky in this game only getting him. I didn't get Ken, thank Christ. Sorry, but I have no intention of yielding the match. Oh, that's Nachapa reclining or recumbent Buddha. Neshakazar. I actually looked it up on YouTube. I actually looked it up on Google, you know, the recumbent Buddha. It actually looks really picturesque when it's, you know, shown at night with all the light shining on it. You know, a very impressive monument in real life in Thailand.
Yeah, definitely. And also, the fact that they've used it here is just like an update of Sagat's Street Fighter 2 background.
Yeah. Yeah, he tends not to give me too many problems because he relies far too much on those damn tigers of his, and it's pretty easy to, well, do what I'm doing here.
Well, you broke his guard with that lot anyway.
Just keep missed him twice with his super. Yeah, Karin's air super has got a very narrow hitbox. If the enemy are not in just the right place, it will simply not hit them. Even though it looks like it's hitting them, the hitboxes don't overlap. And, well, you don't hit.
I mean, I always found him quite hard to play against in Street Fighter 2. Well, you got him good that time.
Yeah. But that's the thing about Karin. She does... I mean, Karin was actually more powerful than she is in this version originally. She actually had a very broken... sweep kick. What's this say here? Know your enemy, know yourself. It's common practice in every fight. She said that before. That says Sardine Beach Custom Ring, as in a pro wrestling ring, because this is ridiculous Mika. No, it's Rainbow Mika. She's not one of my favourite characters. That sign in the background says Sardine Beach 50-year pro wrestling show.
You say she's not one of your favourite characters. There's quite a few people whose favourite character she's not, because they tend to complain about how much clothing she's not wearing. Which, being a wrestler...
Yeah, completely ignoring how outrageous Japanese female wrestling is. Yeah, Street Fighter 5, they censored her butt shots, essentially. Because one of her moves, she grabs hold of you and sticks your head between her legs and sits on you. She actually does it in one of my rounds here. But no, the Capcom were told to censor it by the Americans.
Oh, don't get me started. I mean, you have got me started now, so I'm going to carry on. So you've got a game where in this part here, you've got two girls beating the living shit out of each other. So it's, you know, highly violent, and people chose to complain about how big or small someone's pants or bra were, which, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, for a start, they're pixels. It's not a film. They're not real people. I think some of these people need to grow up and see things for what they are. I mean, like I said, it's like a cartoon.
Yeah, there it is there. That move there where she flips over with your head between her legs. Yeah. Yeah, they moaned about Cammy's crotch shot as well. When Cammy jumps into the screen, she kind of bends down. And originally the camera was right up at her crotch. And they moaned about that as well and said, no, we can't have that. But they didn't have any problem at all with you being shirtless.
Or the levels of violence. Anyway, getting back to the game. Well, it's safe to say you're doing better in this round than you was in the last one. That was the first round you dropped, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mika does give me grief. So does Zangief a lot of the time. It's because they've got a very long reach. You know, they can grab you from quite a distance away, and they will do. No, sorry, I have no intention, but I have no intention of yielding the match. She said that before. Right, Sakura's next. So lots of text here.
Righto.
I finally run into you and Miss Sakura Kasukano. They are being polite for some reason. Miss Karin Kanzuki, what are you doing in this place? Obviously to fight with you one more time. My previous defeat, it wound up being of great value to me. So it would seem your intense fighting spirit has me excited. But hopefully not sexually excited like in the doujinshi. There are copious amounts of Street Fighter doujinshi, take it from me.
Also, I don't care what anyone says, when Sakura does that kick, it sounds like she says cheeseburger, and now people are not going to be able to unhear that.
Yeah, it's actually Shunpa Kyaku, or Whirlwind Kick, or Spring Wind Kick, if you want to translate the kanji literally. Yeah, Sakura's another one for blatant pants shots, isn't she, in this? I mean, Karin's got two-tone cycle shorts. She actually hasn't got her underwear on the outside of her shorts. That's nonsense. They're two-tone. But yeah, Sakura, she shows off everything. I mean, me, I've got no problem with fan service at all. That's why I've signed up for that, video shoujo game, that Too Good for School Kickstarter.
That's the beat 'em up, innit?
Yeah, I didn't actually. I missed the Kickstarter. I'm kind of sorry about that, but blatant fan service. I don't have a problem with that as long as the game's good as well.
Well, this game is certainly good. I mean, I think this probably gets my vote as quite possibly the best Street Fighter game. I mean, I tend to play out the alpha version because then I can read it. But it's a really good fighting game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. I mean, I was never really a fan of 4 and 5. I've watched 4. I've watched a lot of playthroughs of 4. It's a good game. I'm just not really on board with the art style. That's why when I heard Karin was going to be in 5, it was like, the Unreal 3.5 engine. I'm not really on board with the art style. I like my girls to look like cartoon characters. I always have done.
Well, especially in a game like this where they are effectively cartoon characters.
They are. I mean, when they start looking a bit too realistic, like the Mortal Kombat games, it's like, yeah, they're good games, but it doesn't work for me. Yeah, Sakura, she gives me so much grief. I mean, she seems to hit hard, which is weird because Karin seems to be the chunkier girl. You'd think she'd be the one hitting harder.
Well, look at Bruce Lee. I mean, you see him in a loose-fitting suit. He looks like a little sort of stick-thin man, but was anything but.
True. This refreshing feeling, as I anticipated, it was an amazing fight. Yeah, I lost this time, but I'll be challenging you again, eh? Yeah. Rather than winning or losing, the moment when you're fighting, to think that's what appears to be more important, it's curious.
That's it, buddy.
Well, now we get some profanity from Bison. I got to see your fight just now. You both performed well for adolescents. Is it you, the little bitch who defeated Blanca? All of a sudden, some boorish, who are you? I'll tell you my name if you're able to defeat them. Come, you two, have some fun with her. Yeah, Yuri and Uni, even though they're spelt with J's.
It's showtime.
They are pronounced Yuri and Uni. June and July, two of Vega's dolls.
So effectively what Cammy was until she escaped.
Yeah, I think more of them have appeared in the game since. I know the Capri, December, she's in Street Fighter 5, I think. She might have been in 4 as well. It's been a while since I've watched playthroughs of it. But yeah, these two, although they don't have the ability to block, because there's 2 of them, they can recharge their health and their super meter on the fly. They can be a bit annoying. I've lost many times to them.
Yes, I know. I've watched you.
I mean, the best tactic is to get them into the corner and just batter them with your super move because they can't block it.
Nobody blink. Triumph or die.
Sometimes, I mean, you'll do a super. I'm pretty sure she does it here. You do a super, she does a super. She just did that, and they cancel each other out. No, I actually got a good hit there. I mean, they don't share an energy bar either. You see it flicking between the 2 energy bars.
Yeah.
They have each got one. They've got one each. I mean, in the in the PlayStation version, you can actually play either of them as well. You can't in the arcade version. At least not the regular arcade version.
Well, you made it look fairly easy compared to some of the times I've seen you do it.
I think you can after you unlock certain modes. It says, you amuse me. You appear to be an unexpected find, yes? I am Vega, the leader of Shadowloo. Let's qualify you little bitch into a subject for my experiments. Vega of Shadowloo? Of course, this man. Now that I know you're just a lowlife, there's no reason for me to hold back anymore, is there? Incidentally, Vega is indeed saying little bitch. He actually uses the word kisama, which is a very derogatory word in Japanese for son of a bitch, bastard, or bitch in the case of a girl. So it is not a case of he is being polite. You get the impression he does not like women, except for Cammy.
Yeah.
And his dolls.
not the sort of Japanese word you use in polite conversation, and now you've taught it to everyone.
Yeah, words like summer and amae, and teme, you hear them all the time in shows like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vista and North Star, but no, you don't use them in polite conversation. In fact, you don't use the word you at all. Avoid it. Yeah, got caught by his super there, that blasted Psycho Crusher of his, which is way over the top in this.
Well, it does monstrous amounts of damage.
It does.
That's like getting done by Gookies.
Yeah, the Shugoku Satsumi, if it hits, it will take 3/4 of your health off you. Now, even if you block it, it does a fair chunk of damage. I hate that, the way it just teleports behind you, and just grabs you. I'll get it back though.
Well, yeah, regardless of the amount of damage it did, you still won that first round.
Yeah. Yeah, the way he grabs you out the air, you try to jump at him and he literally will just grab you out the air.
Yeah, he is annoying.
Just got him with a little tap there.
That'll do. Does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's got a bunch of texts. It's like, how can it be me, Vega of all people? I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. Along with that foolish business empire who ignored my demands, I will obliterate you bastards without a trace as well. That's just the sound of him straining, going. As long as I have my psycho drive, it's impossible for the likes of you to oppose me. Maniacal laughter. It's like, Miss Kanzuki, I get the sense something's up. It's like, hey, Miss Sakura, you don't need to worry. We're ready. Carry it out as planned. Your target is the high energy body which just now broke away from us. Understood, Mistress Karin. I don't know what you were going to do, but opposing the Kanzuki business empire was extremely foolish of you. Yep, looks like a penis.
It is a bit phallic. You got to give it that.
Huh? What happened? It's like me, Vega, it can't be. It's like, hey, Miss Kanzuki, did you see the papers? The unexplained destruction of the evil organisation Shadowloo? This didn't have something to do with that weird old guy, did it? Well, that's the way it goes, isn't it? As a matter of fact, the organisation called Shadowloo, not knowing their place, it was threatening the Kanzuki business empire. Therefore, with a killer satellite, Red Spider Lily, the pride of our family, we destroyed his base, lock, stock and barrel. Red Spider? Killer satellite? Seriously, no matter the era, a villain's thinking is so shallow. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I have to say, once again, you made that look ridiculously fucking easy.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's only normal. And compared to like guys like Michael P, he plays on expert and never drops around. And he admits that he wouldn't last long in a real competition. I'd go out in the first round.
They wouldn't let me in the door.
Yeah, he'd crush me, Michael P would. He can finish it with every character. Yeah, the original Street Fighter 2 I could, but this one, yeah, Ken, Karin, Sakura, maybe Blanca. But I haven't put in a lot of play with the other characters, to be fair.
So after this game, they moved on to Street Fighter 3. Where do you stand on them? I mean, they look nice. They're well animated. They're just as colourful and cartoony.
I watched James play 3 in the arcades at Bexley Heath once, and I was never involved with the 3 series, to be honest. I always thought they looked a little bit too animate, a bit rubbery. I know when we played Second Impact and Third Strike, I always thought Chun-Li looked a bit too like Mr. Tickle, weren't it?
Yeah, a little bit like Mr. Tickle with rubber arms and legs.
Yeah, I mean they're good games. I just think they're a little bit too animate.
Yeah, I don't think they've come close yet to topping this one, and I personally don't think they will, because I think it's unlikely they'll go back to this kind of animation style. But this is kind of a part 1, because we've got the PlayStation Portable version or it's called Double Upper, isn't it, on the PSP. We've got that coming up soon, so that'll be another Street Fighter game to look at, a kind of part 2 to this.
Yeah, I mean it did come out in the arcades, but only in Japan. It wasn't called Double Upper, it was called something else, but no Western release for that one. But it doesn't work in MAME. I think when we tried it, we just got a red screen.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work yet, but we've got the PlayStation version, which when you've got it emulated and connected up to an arcade stick is just as good, really.
Yeah, it seemed pretty nice when we played it on the arcade, and when I did my in-grid recording, it certainly plays like the arcade version.
Okay, well we'll talk more about that one when we get to it. So yeah, well, thanks yet again for another playthrough where you made it look easy. I mean, I think you dropped 2 rounds in the whole of that, which, yeah, all right. It might only be on normal, but normal to a lot of people is fucking hard.
I think it took me a few playthroughs to get one where I actually didn't lose to Ken, Gurky, or... Yeah, I mean, I think I had about 5 or 6 games, and I think I had 2 good ones. I think I was losing to just about everybody.
Well, that's fair enough. Well, that looked good to me. So we'll stick a lid on this one. So, again, thanks for joining me, mate.
Not a problem.
And until the next video, thank you very much for watching. Until then, laters.
Yep, laters.